Hello everyone, my name is Wyatt Grossman and welcome to Level 4 of Balltopia. Now, it took me a while to find a good tutorial on how to make a 2D side-scroller in Unity. I was surprised. I didn't think it would take me that long, but it did. The problem with a lot of tutorials, or at least the ones I found regarding our type of game, was a lot of them expected the viewer to have a decent amount of coding experience, which I did not. So I scoured around, and I did eventually come across one tutorial made by a guy called Games Plus James, and his tutorial was fantastic. All of this has been made thanks to his help, and I'm just very glad I was able to find it. Now, onto the level itself. I was tasked with making a volcano level. I had a couple ideas that I wanted to do, but due to time constraints, I wasn't able to implement all of them. For instance, that was weird. Don't know what I landed on. I'll have to fix that. I wanted to have there be giant flaming rocks that pelted towards the player and the player had to dodge them, while also jumping over platforms. I couldn't find a script that would help me out with that. Oh, jeez. And due to time constraints, I'm probably not going to implement those either. But I was able to implement these flaming pillars. Dang, this is actually really hard. It took me a while to get these to work, too. I was originally instructed to make a coroutine to get these to work. But since I couldn't figure out how to do one, I ended up turning these things into a platform and then hiding them behind the rocks, just to make it seem like a pillar of fire is coming out of them every few seconds. Since this is the final level, I wanted to make sure it was a pretty decent challenge at least. And I, as you can see, given my own failures, I think I've met the challenge pretty well. The question is it fun? That's going to be one for the player to decide. But I think I'm having a pretty decent amount of fun with this, so hey. If I'm Damn! You're probably noticing that there's a double explosion when my character dies. The reason for that is there's a little bit of code I have not implemented yet. This code will make the player invincible after they get killed. The problem right now is, even though the player is dying, they're exploding, and there's no entity, and the player loses control, there's a ghost player entity there that basically keeps, which is what the trigger keeps responding to, and why you keep seeing those double explosions. So that's going to be fixed eventually, and the player will not be dying twice, ultimately. That I can fix, that I will fix, before everything is due. So yeah, we were originally going to have some enemies in the game as well, but again, due to time constraints, we weren't able to implement those, and my team ultimately decided that would make sure that the challenge lay in the environments themselves instead of the enemies. And yeah, that's... Dang! I need to build another checkpoint too. I'm sure that would help me here. I've got to give a huge shout out to Dominic for making these enemies, the player animation, the sprites, everything else. Without his help, none of this I think would have been possible, because I can't draw at all, and I don't know how to use Photoshop. So yeah, without his help, we would have been up a certain creek without a paddle. Or to be more precise, would probably be using free domain entities to get this game to function. Okay, finally. Yeah, I think I made my level maybe a tad more difficult than I intended. One of the other biggest problems I had when I was designing this level was reducing as much eye strain as I possibly could. One of the things I had originally done was made every single platform and set of blocks all the same type. So you'd see multiple blocks up here, and it would just cause eye strain. So to reduce that, I tried to put in as much black as I could. I don't know if it entirely succeeds, because even this single block layer up here, it's causing my eyes to water a little bit. So I'm not quite sure how to fix that, but that's something to think about for future games I make. Here comes the platform. Unlike the fire pillars, this is an actual platform that I converted from the fire pillars originally. Let's get on this thing. Whoop! Ah! You probably see me rolling on top of the platform. One of the problems right now is my character is not sticking to the platform. So the platform's moving, my character is not on top of it. Alright, and we're nearing the end of the level. One thing I've not also implemented yet is a endpoint, but the endpoint will be right around this area. There's probably going to be a little door for the player to go in, and that'll be it. They'll finish the game. Thank you for following me and sticking with me, and I hope you all have a pleasant day, and I hope you enjoy the game. Thanks.